Sacrifice. It's a concept many of us may have had to deal with in some manner or another. It could have been something so small or something that changed your life for years. But it's something we can all at least relate to on some level. A wonderful little thing that fiction can do is present tales of heroes that you typically would never see in the real world. Dark tales and stories that stretch beyond our imagining.
In such company, I felt as if I were a character in the epic tales that had stirred my heart as a boy, as if my dream had come true.
It's almost as though G'raha represents us in this particular way. By this, I mean the reverence he holds for the Warrior of Light, who I'm now going to call Sve, because that's what I called her, and it's easier for me to remember. G'raha adores adventure. This much we immediately saw way back in the Crystal Tower raids. Over time, he came to revere Sve's actions and strove to be more like her, but in his own way.
Why you? Why not you? Had I chosen another, we would never have made it this far. Or do I mistake your meaning?
What I really love about him is his willingness to uphold the impossibly high standards he set for himself. He wants to be like this new hero he found. He's willing to sacrifice so much for completely selfless reasons, and the things he does are very selfless. He lies, yes, but it's wholly out of kindness. There's a scene between he and Sve not long before the ascension up Mount Gulg, and this scene is great the first time, but rewatching it with context the second time makes it brilliant. In this scene, he mentions that when he first came to the First to save it, he realized it would take many years, and so merged himself with the Crystal Tower in order to indefinitely increase his lifespan. Doing this, however, meant he could never stray from the tower for too long, otherwise his body would begin to wilt.
In truth, it is debatable whether I can still call this my body.
He cut away his yearning for adventure for the sake of a world of people that were not even his own. That's sacrifice. Though we do not know it at this point, he actually used the tower to go back in time in order to prevent the deaths of the Scions and countless others, including Sve. This meant that his motives were a little more personal, yes, but they were no less selfless. After all, his goal was to take that light that was killing her into his own body and then use the Crystal Tower to take it into the rift and die.
So, I hope you'll forgive me this moment of selfishness, and while I wouldn't want you to feel obliged, promise me you'll take me on your next adventure. A journey. Together. That's all I ask.
The fact that he refers to this as selfish is absurd, but it is so very in character for him. Over and over again has he showed his willingness to die for the cause of another, or for the protection of another. Finally, it happens. He dies, or basically dies. His body becomes fully crystallized, leaving his soul and memories encased in a small, separate crystal. G'raha is wise, and he is brilliant, and that makes all of this really harsh, considering the almost childlike sense of adventure he started out with. Consider his love of just doing things, stuff. By this point, he has lived over 100 years in service to other people, and still he willingly lets everything go, willing to die, to save worlds, to save his hero.
Ow.
The more I think about it, the more I can see parallels with him and Yuna from Final Fantasy X. She too had this unbending will when it came to the service of others, when it came to saving them. she too was willing to die and cut away all of her dreams so the world could have peace. I'm just happy that he gave us the crystal that contains his soul. Can you imagine the pure tragedy of things ending with him never truly being able to continue an adventure with us after all that hardship? It's funny, after all of these intense and world-saving moments, he comes back to us and is shy. He's almost reluctant, maybe bewildered is the better word, because it's finally happening. His dreams can actually happen, and he acts really cute. He even does the thumbs up he did way back when we first saw him. It just shows how much of himself he was suppressing in order to be what he felt like he had to be, this leader, this protector. But now he's a free boy. I hope only good things happen for him, and I hope that that comment I just made doesn't come back to bite me in the future, because if he dies,